Hi, good morning. It's Gene from the maverickstar Observatory. Guys, I've got some excellent news, but before we get into that, I just want to thank those few people yesterday for contributing a little bit of support for the observatory and the patrons, of course. And we've got some superstars everywhere. You know, these people that put these pieces of equipment that we send out in their homes, you know, we've got to give them a big thank you. You know, we've had some of them now for over a year delivering the data back to us. And you know, it shows the test of the equipment. We have had some teething problems, you know, I will admit that. You know, we've had a couple of problems on the Gold Coast with magnetometers, but you know, we get there, you know, we resolve the issues. And really, for what we're working with here, guys, we're doing an amazing job. It's nothing short of an amazing job. Okay, on with the good news. Well, our magnetometer has arrived at the M5 location. It's just a little bit south of that, actually, on this map. It's in Perth, Australia. It got there today, but there was a bit of drama. There was nothing when it was plugged in. The OLED didn't light up, and there was no data on the screen. And like, all I could think of is, God damn you, parcel delivery people, for not reading what is on the front of the box. Fragile, you know, you would pay attention to that. You'd treat it like glass, wouldn't you, normally? But you can just imagine dealing with thousands of parcels every day. You're just going to kick it around, throw it around, and chuck it in the van. And it's, you know, when it's travelling from the UK to Australia, there's a lot of miles. There's about a 17-hour difference behind in time in Australia, in Perth. And me and Jeff this morning, you know, we thrashed it out for about an hour, trying to resolve what the problem was, and we did eventually figure it out. There was a little bit of solder rattling around in the case, but that wasn't really the issue. It was just something simple, but you know, on a video conversation with Jeff, we nailed it out and we got it working, which was a big relief, because I said, just send it back, I'll have a look at it and we'll get it back out to you. That would have been another 4 weeks delay, but luckily enough, we've got it fixed. So guys, we are now in the hot zone on the Earth with regards to collecting muon data in the highest intensity region on this planet, or one of them at least, on the southern hemisphere. The next milestone will be getting one into Brazil. If we can get one into Brazil, we've got the two we need, we've got the set, and we can work out how much protection you get in a high intensity region compared to a low intensity region on this Earth. And that will give us an idea of what's going to happen during the magnetic reversal when the magnetosphere collapses. In simple terms, what we want to know is how much more are we likely to get influx with regards to the amount of cosmic radiation interacting with the upper atmosphere. We are about to cross a big threshold here, guys, at the observatory. And I don't know whether you can hear it in the background. You know, although we do a great job, we're getting the equipment out and we are almost there. You know, as you can hear, the CPU fan is going crazy on this laptop and it needs to be replaced. We need something that can handle graphics and a lot of rendering. And, you know, the only way we're going to do that is by investing some money, and it's not going to be cheap, guys. A friend of mine has told me, if you're going to make an investment in this sort of stuff, then you want it to do multiple things. And you know, really, we're looking at something that they use for gaming, because there's a lot of graphic card power and things like that that can handle a lot of that rendering. So we're probably looking at Alienware laptops, brand new, probably free to something, £3,500, which is a big chunk of money. But what we can do with that is we can deal with all the rendering that we get, deal with all the storage that we get, and we can also, you know, improve the contents of these videos. I mean, what I want to start doing is doing live videos so that you guys can interact with me, ask questions, and we can answer them live. And also, whilst doing that, we can have like a green screen behind me, we can have some images of the things we're talking about. That's where I want to go. I want to improve the content, and I guarantee you what will happen if we can get there is we will increase the subscribers. And we're underdogs here on YouTube. We should have had at least 200,000 subscribers by now for the content that we put out. We are not just talkers, we're builders here at the observatory. You know, I build the equipment, I put it out there, I've invested tons and tons of my time, you know, building all this stuff, gathering the data, processing it and putting it out there for you guys. But one thing I can't do is print money like I can print, you know, these objects that we assemble. I can't do that. I wish I could. I wish I had the funding that some of these other organisations have. You know, we would be the Rolls Royce or the Ferrari of, you know, this information. It's just sad that, you know, despite even having 30,000 subscribers, we've just got a couple of hardcore people that stand with us, and that really needs to increase, guys, because this is important. This is going to be a life-changing event for all of us, and you know, less than 1% of the Earth's population of 7 billion people are aware of what is going on. You know, the magnetic poles of this Earth are reversing. It's a big deal. It is a huge deal. It changes the jet stream's behaviour on our planet. Not only that, we're in a grand solar minimum. Again, the same thing. It allows more cosmic rays through the heliosphere into our solar system, and again comes through to our atmosphere and increases the muon detection. This is the times that we're in right now, guys. And how does it affect us? Well, if the weather patterns change, cropping seasons change, you know, the delivery of crops changes. You know, China, just look at China at the moment, floods everywhere, already struggling to feed its population, and then being clobbered on top of that with floods as a result of more cosmic radiation in the upper atmosphere, you know, creating cloud seeding platforms for precipitation to form, and of course when it drifts over there, it drops it. This is what we are dealing with. It's a real issue that we all face, and you know, don't wait for it to just clobber you completely. Act now. You know, help support our observatory. Let's get the data. Let's see what we can do. You know, I have got, like I've said before, some ideas to build some, you know, protective shields. In theory, it should work, but there's no way I can develop anything else unless I get the funding here. You know, I wish the governments would just see that there is something really well worth investing. The Large Hadron Collider cost nearly £1 trillion to build. And really, how have we benefited from that? Tell me. I don't know. I don't know if we will ever benefit from that. But, you know, with the little amount of money that we've invested in today at this observatory, what we've got, you will benefit. You'll benefit from knowing what's going on ahead of time. I've told you, in Russia, there is something on its way there, which is the North Magnetic Pole. You know, Australia is now having this region creep up on it with high intensity. You know, the poles are going to meet. It's obvious that the poles are going to meet somewhere in the equatorial region around China. It's just a matter of time when that happens, and the reversal will take place. But I guarantee you, we are monitoring the position of the magnetic North Pole with regards to that 40-degree mark. That's where the pole leaves the strong field lines and goes into the weak field lines, and then rapidly, you know, migrates from that point. We'll see a lot of action take place. You know, we should have millions of pounds there at the observatory to invest in this. We would have a better output than what the Swarm mission had, and that is, if it hasn't already, about to expire. You know, these things don't last forever in space. They've got a battery life at the end of the day. They can only be recharged so much by the solar panels before, you know, that battery diminishes in its inability to hold that charge. So all I'm saying is, you know, we've got a platform here at the observatory where we can collect the data here on the ground, and I think it's more accurate because there is no atmospherics that affects the readings that we get. We want ground readings and they're more accurate. All we need is the funding. Someone's got to step up at some point and support what we're doing and realise the importance of our work here at the observatory. You know, it's a sad affair. We can't afford to even replace at this moment the laptop for something better. We can't afford to move forward in delivering better content for you guys at this moment, because the money has to be spent on other things like SIPMs, PCBs, Arduinos and things like that. You know, 3D printers. It's just, things have to be put in priority, and getting the equipment out is the priority for all I can see at this point. So, you know, guys, I'm going to put a link down there. You know, if you want to support, and we really need you know, some substantial support. You know, I'm going to try and do a fundraiser next month, you know, to try and get this laptop that we need, the green screen, and then, you know, I'll invest the time in OBS trying to do a great job for you guys. I've got some people that are prepared to help me and show me how to do all this, and like I learned myself to do the programming, I'm prepared to invest that time again in learning how to do, you know, good production, so we can deliver good content, and, you know, we can also, more than anything else, primarily, you know, deliver the information with regards to what is taking place on our Earth right now. That's the main thing. But we need some damn big support to do it. I think it's time to take the shackles off and move forward. You know, I think I didn't expect to get at this point and say these things, but I think it's there. We're there now, guys. We need to do this in order to progress. Look, we've got one of the big key elements fixed this morning. We've got a muon detector in Australia. You know, I pretty much am sure that, you know, there are other organisations now thinking, you know, he's about to do it. Once we get into Brazil, we'll have the nut cracked, and we'll have that data between the two regions, M8, M5, low and high. So nothing else to say, but there's a link down there. And guys, we need people to step forward. We've got to do this. We can't come to this point and then turn back. It's just, we've gone way too far to do it. We need people to step up to the mark now. It's time to go to war, guys. It's time to step up to the battle. You know, we've got to be pushing forward at this point in getting this data and improving things here at this observatory. I would love to see more subscribers join us and more support come forward. The only way we can do it is with your help. That's it at the end of the day. Okay, have an amazing day. As always, bye for now.